okey-dokey. All right, so today, hopefully you guys can see from where you are, the plan is we need to do another piece. Hey guys. So, we have knight, king and queen, or king and queen remaining, and then the board itself, which shouldn't be too difficult. Let's did we do king already? No, we didn't. All right, so at this point you should have at least, well, all of your parts should be on the bottom of your single document. So pawn, bishop, and rook are the ones we've done so far. Let's do king next. So from our base, all we need to do is duplicate, right click, duplicate, and assuming it agrees, right click, duplicate. Oh yeah, the base copy. And let's rename this one king. Excuse me. All right, so this is our consistent base that base copy. Yeah, let's get rid of this one. I made 2 copies. This is our consistent base that we're keeping all of them. And the first thing we need to do is go in and edit the sketch, which is going to be the majority of our revolve, and draw a line that's going to be our total height line. Snap to vertical, and it's going to be dimension to whatever our max height is for this particular part, which let's take a look at Chess Set Project walkthrough document. And king needs to be 4.5. So let's go back to that. We'll screen it. And so here's the thing though. If our goal is to do a traditional shape or your own version of the traditional shape, the traditional shape for a king is to have a cross at the top, or a lowercase t if that's what your preference is. Have a lowercase t at the top. And so that's included in our 4.5, but this is obviously not made with a revolve the way the rest of the part is. So even though we have our 4.5 total height from our very base to the top, the revolve isn't going to go all the way to the top so that we have room for our lowercase t. I'm going to try use a spline tool. Spline tool is a little more free form. And right click, escape. And then you should be able to sort of drag these points around to make a more free form design. I want something like this. And then I'll use a line tool, arc. Just from a design perspective, probably want to keep similar themes, design themes from other parts. Meaning if your main part is a arc, like your main curve of your revolve is an arc, you probably want to stick with that. How do I make this more rounded? Maybe something like that. And it's really easy to mess up a revolve, or to do a revolve, or the sketch for a revolve that leads to a design you don't want, just because it's difficult to visualize it being doubled. Okay, so we'll finish the sketch, we'll revolve, we'll choose all the things, and we'll choose our revolve axis, which is going to be our center. And it doesn't look terrible. Looking at the other ones, like bishop maybe. No, I guess it's fine. This sort of ridge part, I only used it on the rook, so I guess I'll just leave it like that. So we'll revolve, choose all the parts, which in this case is only 2 of them, and a revolve axis, and hit OK. And in order to do the lowercase t at the top, let's we're going to need to do a sketch, and we're going to need to sketch on either the front plane or the right plane, because the top plane is sort of like the floor. So front is fine. And let's wish we had slice graphics. We don't have slice graphics. We can use how can we? All right, so using the use button, just clicking on some edge will give you a line that is on our sketch plane, which in this case is slicing right down the middle. And we're going to need a line. This is just sort of a build construction line. So this line, we can find a snap here, and it doesn't matter where this line, this construction line is, because we're going to be dimensioning it from like the origin. So we're sketching, we're on a plane that slices through the middle, one of the origin planes. And that's why it's critical to do your first sketch That's why it's critical. It's like, I don't know, super distracting. I appreciate it. It's super important to sketch from the origin so that your revolve goes right through the middle, and then you can just use the origin planes. So we have this line that we've done the use tool so that we can get a snap to center and draw a line straight up. And now in order to make sure our total height is correct, we're going to do a dimension tool between there and origin point, or the base, doesn't matter. And we want our total height to be 4.5. And so nothing can go above that height. We just need our lowercase t to be centered on there. So let's get how about a center point rectangle? And somewhere on this line, we'll click. And then somewhere up here, looking at it straight on, we want to make sure that it doesn't go higher than our total height. So I'm just going to mouse over this. And I should get a soft snap. There we go. All right, so hopefully you saw that. I'll do that again because it's a little strange. And all right, so from the beginning, not from the total beginning, but from the point where we have a revolve, I'm going to do a sketch on the front plane, the front origin plane, so that we can draw right through the middle, because the design we're looking for is centered. It's going to be an extrusion from the center forward and backward. So we're sketching on the middle and we need something to snap to. So we're going to use the use tool and we'll click on something like that. And that gives us a line that's on our plane. And now we can use just a regular line from the center going straight up, snap to vertical, and dimension the top of this to the bottom of everything to give us our 4.5 maximum height. So now we're just going to draw a two-dimensional lowercase t here and making sure it's centered on this line and the tallest part doesn't go above our max height. And I'm going to do that by using a center point rectangle. Here, the first click is going to be the center of the rectangle. The second click is the shape. And I know the center point needs to be centered on here. So that's my first click. And I want, this is going to be the tall center part. And I don't get a snap to the top, the max height, unless I mouse over without clicking, just mouse over this top button or top point. Now, when I go up and down, it snaps to total height. And so I'm going to go like that as my first one. And then I'm going to do the same for the crossbar of our lowercase t. And I think that looks okay. So now let's do an extrusion. We'll choose everything. And this one. There we go. And I want it to be symmetric. And I want it to be, let's see what 1/4 inch looks like. Maybe even smaller. Let's try 0.2. There we go. Why is it not the same? You can already tell this is like this is going to be an issue. All right, so this works as king, but the problem is, and I can't figure out why Onshape is doing shoot, I've been muted the whole time. No. What's up? Give me a second here. Extrude. Oh, okay. Add. There we go. Thank you. That is certainly not the default for Inventor. Okay, and so it's add instead of new, symmetric, 0.2. Does it need to be? Does my add, remove? It worked for 0.25. Does it just not touch? Is that the problem? Yeah, it needs to extend in. Okay, so let's why do I need a pop-up? Let's edit sketch 2 and have this, make sure it goes down into the body of it. Oh, because I had it snap. Of course I did. And that looks bad. Okay, so let's do this. Let's delete and delete the skim, edit the sketch, and delete all the middle stuff. Okay, so the tall vertical part of the lowercase t needs to be, I already had it snap. Okay, so from scratch, let's delete this, rename, edit. Why are we not able to delete? Right click, rename. Is it below? There we go. All right, so from the point that we have a successful revolve, new sketch on the front plane. Use tool, use to get some sort of horizontal line to snap to. Draw a vertical line, get a line tool, snap to the center of this line to find center of everything, and we'll snap it to vertical. Dimension the distance from the top of the line to something at the base. Make this our total height, 4.5. Nothing can be taller than that. Then we need a center point circle that snaps somewhere on this line. I guess this can be fine because it needs to extend into the body. And this is just going to be the tall vertical point part of the cross. And I want the top of this to be the line up exactly with the top of my total height thing, but I don't get a snap unless I mouse over first, and then it will let me snap to that total height. And I'm just sort of eyeballing the width from what I think looks good. And we'll get another keep center point rectangle on, looking at it straight on. And from here, go like that. Sure. And finish the sketch. Extrude, look at it from a corner and get everything. And we want it to be symmetric, and which makes it go both directions from the center out, 0.2. Or whatever your case may be, and hit OK. And there we go. There is a king that lines up with the other parts and whatnot. Yeah, there you go. So if you have any stuff that you need to be graded or you thought was graded but it's not, you can come see me and I'll take a look.